The Mission Church of Christ the King in Pioneer Road, that was built in 1934 to serve the Zulu-speaking Catholics in the southern part of Durban, became the first home of the Assumption Parish in 1947. This humble-looking red brick structure served the small Catholic community of Umbilo and Glenwood until 1950, when the parish moved to the new church hall prior to the construction of the church building on its present site. At its first anniversary in March 1948, parishioners and their priest, Father Burke OMI, gathered to celebrate the happy occasion with Bishop Denis Hurley OMI, who was instrumental in establishing the parish. The Decade of the Hall, when Mass and other church functions were celebrated in the hall, an inconvenience largely accepted by the parishioners, knowing that a beautiful new church was being planned and built for them. Father Slattery OMI succeeded Father Burke in shepherding his congregation into a new era with a new church building. In many respects, these were the golden years of the parish, with its beautiful modern church opened by Archbishop Denis Hurley OMI on the 10th of March 1962. The parish, of course, does not exist in isolation, but is part of the worldwide family of Catholics. So when Vatican II ended in 1965, the ripple effects of that universal council were slowly reaching the shores of Durban. In the latter half of this decade, significant changes began to impact the parish. Our priests no longer said Mass facing the tabernacle, but now faced the congregation, and the tabernacle was moved to the side of the church. Following Vatican II, the Assumption Church removed its communion rail, although this was never stipulated by the Council. In the wake of Vatican II, further changes were made to the liturgy, and lay Catholics were encouraged to play a more dominant role in their parish communities. It was also the era of the Charismatic Renewal, characterized by joyful energy and singing, a movement that was reaffirmed by Pope Paul VI and aimed at parishioners having a deeper relationship with the Holy Spirit. The Assumption's congregation grew to record numbers, with 5 Masses on a Sunday, 7 a.m., 8:30, 10:30, a 3 p.m. Mass for the Zulu-speaking members, and a 5:30 folk Mass. There were also 2 priests serving the enthusiastic burgeoning community. Members of the parish began to serve as ministers of communion in distributing the Blessed Host and precious blood. 1980 marked another decade of a vibrant parish community, beginning with the consecration of the new debt-free church building by Archbishop Denis Hurley OMI. The Charismatic Renewal continued to enliven the spiritual growth of the community, and an active and talented youth choir drew many young people to the 5:30 Sunday Mass. Following years of civil violence and unrest, the parish and the country at large welcomed the advent of the new democratic South Africa in 1994. In 1992, the parish defined its mission in terms of the following statement: "We, the Assumption Parish, are a community of faith with a vision to build our parish into a vibrant community of communities serving humanity, and in doing so, enable each parishioner to enrich his or her spiritual life in communion with Christ. Among the many bumper stickers seen during the run-up to the election was a verse from 2 Chronicles. "If my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and heal their land." The turn of the century revived hope for a brighter future for both the parish and the country. Among the many individuals who played a prominent role in the liberation movement, Archbishop Denis Hurley died in February 2004. He became the youngest archbishop in the world when he was appointed to this position by Pope Pius XII in 1951. Dark socio-political clouds began to overshadow the bright prospects of a prosperous country, with reports of widespread corruption and state capture. The parish continued with its outreach programs to uplift and alleviate poverty and hardships in struggling communities. The major event to dominate the life of the Church, as well as the country and the world at large, was the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic that restricted church attendance and imposed strict hygiene controls over the number of people that could attend church services, marriages, and funerals. Although these restrictions are now behind us, the country's shrinking economy has placed the parish in a challenging position to fulfill its many functions and obligations.